warm welcome to another episode of Her Story. I'm Dr. Vasavi Acharya, the co-founder of Local Business Network and an entrepreneur. And today in this show, we have with us Dr. Sharadi Shrimoy. Dr. Sharadi is a cosmetologist and she is the founder of Rejuve Aesthetic Clinic in Guwahati. She has been doing incredible work in this field. And I would like to know, Dr. Sharadi, how you started this journey.
Thank you, Vasavi, for welcoming me on this platform. It's an honor. Basically, I started this clinic about 5.5 years back in Guwahati. Before that, I was in Delhi, working in Delhi in the same field. So I basically have an experience of around 10 years in this field. I was working in Apollo Hospital, other chain of cosmetology clinics like Kaya. When I came here, I saw people are not that aware, that conscious, and it's not about conscious. Of course, everyone wants to look nice. It's not that, but then people don't know what are the options they have. People don't know what could be done, because before that, apart from a very small section of the society who knew about it, most of the people in general, the masses, the common public, they didn't know. So all they ever knew was either if you have a skin disease, you go to a dermatologist for a treatment, or if you want to do something, pamper yourself and do something, they usually go to the parlor. People here were totally unaware that there is a branch of medicine, entirely separate branch, that is known as aesthetic medicine or medical cosmetology, as we popularly call it. So where we medically enhance or medically take care of our skin, whatever nutrition, whatever vitamins, whatever care, hydration that our skin needs to glow, to look good, to look healthy. And apart from that, whatever other problems, say anti-aging or many other problems that have. Till down the line, I thought, why not start something here? And that's how I started my journey of medical aesthetics and opened my clinic, Rejuve Aesthetics, here in Dispur supermarket. And then from there it began. And over years, I've been doing a lot of awareness programs by the means of various shows, by the online platforms. And gradually people are becoming more aware. Apart from the small poppers doing it before, and gradually now we have general people who are more aware, who really like to get their treatments done, because basically everyone wants to look good, but they don't know the means for it. And my job is basically to make them aware of the means that they can get it done with. So yeah, that's how my journey started, and that's how it's going on.
Absolutely wonderful. And yes, people actually everybody wants to look good. Everybody wants to, have a glowing skin and, kind of stay younger. So that is kind of, what people want. And now that you have this Rejuve, so can you tell me, because you have an experience of working in Delhi and in other places all over. So now that you're in Guwahati, what's your clientele or the segment of people that come to you generally, and for what kind of what are because you give a wide range of treatments, so what do you think are the most sought after treatments? Or
the variety and the range of clients actually is very surprising, because there are girls who are 18 to women who are 60, 65. So we cater the entire range depending on the age, their skin condition, the requirement. Say we do a treatment of, say, something as simple as an acne or a mole, or girls, especially teenagers or early adulthood people, girls, boys both, actually suffer from a lot of acne problems. Apart from that, at that age group, people are very much concerned about body hair. So we do a lot of laser hair reduction, those kind of procedures, both men and women, okay, both girls and boys, because nowadays everyone is concerned about be it facial hair, body hair, those things are very common. Acne treatment is very common. We do peeling treatments, instant glow treatments are there. Then we also do medicated facials. Those are called hydra facials, different kind of medifacials. Those are not like regular facials, but they are infused and those are all machine based treatment, and we use lasers and other kind of machines to do those facials. So they do a lot of deep cleaning and infuse a lot of vitamins and stuff into in your face, and with radio frequency tightening. It includes a lot of things. Apart from that, that is one spectrum. Then the other spectrum that we see for a more matured kind of a client that we cater to is anti-aging treatments, and face contouring. So anti-aging, again, we start having fine lines and wrinkles once we cross 30, because the aging process starts then. So we see a lot of people coming from anti-aging, face contouring, the slimming of the face, all those things also we do. Apart from that, one very important thing that we do from this part of the world, Northeast India, that we do a lot of, we tend to have thinner eyebrows, and our nose are a bit on the broader and flatter side. So people come for a lot of nose shaping and eyebrow microblading procedures, because in this side of the country. Apart from that, from being from Northeast, again, we suffer from a lot of facial pigmentation, like freckles that we see is very common. So for that also we do laser treatments and stuff like that. So yeah, these are the common treatments that we do. Apart from that, this in our clinic, we also have dental aesthetics and hair transplant treatments, and body contouring, slimming treatments also. Those also keep happening.
Looking at the entrepreneurial perspective, now these are the technicalities of what you do. This is what is your work all about. But you had this transition from working at the Apollo or someplace, and then you became an entrepreneur. You opened your own clinic, and you started your business. So what are the skills you think are necessary for an entrepreneur to open up their own venture as a woman?
One thing I always say is that because when I first started this thing, this was almost a virgin market. People didn't even know. As I said before, maybe a small percentage of the people population was aware, but most of the people didn't even know. That time, it was a bit of a daunting experience for me, because I thought, how would I ever break into this area or break into this market, because people don't even understand. Because where I came from, it is such a common thing. People just come to the doctor's clinic and they say, "Doctor, I want to do this, I want to do that." It is a very common thing. The level of awareness is so basically what you can say is that it is like creating a awareness, creating a market, because as I said, there always was a need for it, for aesthetic medicine, but people are not aware of how to go about it and what to do. So when I created the awareness, it is basically, Vasavi, it is years of perseverance, hard work, keeping at your work, just going on despite all the hardships that you face. Not giving up is what as an entrepreneur, it may sound not very practical, but just had to keep on doing little things here and there. Creating awareness is what has eventually paid off for me. So believe in your work, have faith in yourself, and be honest in whatever you're doing.
There's a lot of ethics in business, and while we are into business, we need to have those ethical and moral values all in their place, so that we actually entrepreneurship or any kind of business is a lot about what you are actually portraying in the market, and that is what actually takes you forward in your journey, because the credibility matters a lot. So as an entrepreneur, even I understand how much of slogging we need to do in order to set our footing in the right space and in the right manner. Coming to the journey, I have understood that yes, there were a lot of challenges that you had Let us leave alone the challenges, because today we are in a space where we can celebrate. Today is Women's Day and we are celebrating our success story. So tell me three things in your journey that came to you as a blessing while you started off, or while you were on it.
I was lucky enough to be part of a group of supportive friends, firstly, who supported me, helped me, made because I was new to the city. So I hardly knew people. Although I am from Guwahati originally, but I have not stayed here since like so many years, 15, 16 years. So I met people, made friends. Gradually, things started spreading by the word of mouth, and people started, coming to know about it. Then, secondly, I started doing TV shows. So that worked in my favor. That worked in my awareness, creating awareness thing. And third thing that I would say that worked in my favor is I think I have a good, the people who are working for you. Again, you have to really respect them, really love them, give them, the kind of environment they like to work with. If you give a little bit of love to them, they give you back 10 times.
So it's the team
I
support.
think those are the things as a female entrepreneur, I think are very important. A good work culture and good set of friends and good. Yes, the team support is very important. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And we hail from the northeast of India. We all have been, had our stints in other places of India and even probably abroad. But what do you think now that we are here and we are doing our bit, in this part? What do you think is the level of entrepreneurial growth in the Northeast region?
I would be lying if I say that it's as good as any other metropolitan or Tier 1 city. Of course, we have our challenges. The most important challenge, although now the government is, paying a lot of importance to the northeastern part, but then apart from that, the most important drawback, or whatever you like to say it, is that we cannot compete with those cities when it comes to population. Okay, so when it comes to population, we are always at a back step, because the amount of population in the metropolitan Tier 1 city that they have is like is probably in one zone or one municipality area, the amount of population is probably the population of entire Guwahati. Even if we compare include the entire Northeast, we have a disadvantage of population. So that way, whenever we are doing business, that is a bit of a thing, because revenue wise or business wise, we can never reach those numbers, what the Tier 1 cities are reaching, because they have a huge population, and people from Tier 2 cities also have a tendency of trying to go for any services or any business or take business from Tier 1 cities, because it is considered to be good. But then the awareness that we need to create here is that, like, people like you and me and many other people now are coming back to their own place. We are all exposed, we are all experienced, we all have been working outside, having the same kind of exposure and the same kind and quality of work that we have been doing outside. So when we are coming and providing it here, I urge the people to have faith on the people of their own place. Now I believe times are changing. So it is important that people start believing, see the credibility of the person, and start believing and trying local businesses, because it's not like the older times anymore. Most of the new generation people like us are just coming back to serve our own state, to work in our own state with all the experience and all the exposure that we have had from outside. So I think that is something that is a challenge that we need to overcome. Apart from that, I think I'm sure government will be coming with more and more options and good news for small businesses like us. And that is the thing.
Absolutely, it's a wonderful perspective because yes, when it comes to population, we are lagging, but that I wouldn't say is a minus. What I would say is a
Hmm.
minus is the revenue drain that happens, like the
Yeah,
brain drain happens, the revenue drain that happens because people from the northeast go and take the same services outside where they're spending double,
exactly,
because
exactly. Hmm.
that
Yeah.
also includes the transportation, their the cost of putting up
And
in a
every
place.
time, suppose you're doing a service, every time you have to go for a follow up, and that adds to the cost. While we are
Right,
doing the same thing, same
adds to
service
the
at
cost. So
almost lesser cost here. Yeah.
yes, so I think that is one very vital thing that we need to understand, and we need to trust the entrepreneurs of the region, be it in whichever field, and we need to actually, when we say go local, or even when we are talking about farming, grow local, go local. So it's all about believing in your people, believing in things that we are doing over here, and probably taking this journey forward, supporting each other. Thank you, Dr. Shrimoy, for joining us today. It was lovely, and wishing you a very, very happy Women's Day, and have
Thank
a great
you.
journey for ahead.
Thank you for inviting me. A very happy Women's Day to all the members of Local Business Network. And I hope we grow as a community. Thank you, Vasavi. Thank you so much.